Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu, NamRA Kachenu, NamRA nchi yetu.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Hello and welcome to this edition of NamRA Kachenu, where the focus is on tax, customs and excise matters. I am Puye Ipawa Mwaitako, keeping you company for the next half an hour or so. In recent developments, NamRA engages stakeholders in the Ohangwena region. Continuous engagement is key to the success of major brands. Is the NamRA brand known by the public? All that and more coming to you in a while. NamRA is deliberate on stakeholder engagement and strives to effectively communicate and promote the brand. For the past 20 months now since inception, the NamRA management had engagements in the southern, northeastern, eastern, western, and central parts of Namibia. This time around, a stakeholder engagement was held in the Ohangwena region. Let's take a look.
Please join me in thanking NamRA for the wonderful organization of these stakeholders' engagements and yourself as stakeholders for responding positively to the invitation. Government is pleased to see the interest in the business of NamRA, and I enroll you to continue engaging the agency long after this program. Through this engagement, this economic development of our country and the nation at large will significantly be improved, and all of us are required to make sure that we pay our fair share. If we comply with the law, it's a good thing to do. I think there is also Bible verse that says that Shakarunga na Shikoe Karunga, Shokeshari na Shikeshari.
Serving with passion.
For any institution to obtain its vision, it must have the right people in the right place, and it is critical that staff members are constantly capacitated and trained in the required areas. Considering that, the NamRA staff recently attended a training on stakeholder engagement facilitated by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to ensure best practices and results.
Without consulting your taxpayers, then whatever you're going to develop is not going to meet their needs. At the tax level, if you're developing tax laws and you're not consulting or discussing with your taxpayers, the only dimension you're going to look at is NamRAs. And that's very dangerous because maybe you're going to put in laws that the taxpayers cannot actually fulfill. So you're going to have a
NamRA, serving with passion.
NamRA is in its 20th month since taking over the roles of the then Inland Revenue Department and Directorate of Customs and Excise to administer tax and trade laws. In September 2021, we took to the streets of Windhoek, Independence Avenue, to gauge the public awareness about the existence of NamRA. Here are the responses, first from last year and then what some told us a few days ago.
NamRA Revenue Agency. It's there it was created to collect the funds for the states, to focus on that, and it was recently established here.
Wow, thank you so much, sir.
I know nothing about Namibian Revenue Agency. I know nothing really. I'm hearing it from you right now.
I never heard of it. For the first time hearing that.
Namibia Revenue Agency is to collect revenue for the state.
I don't know about NamRA.
I don't know anything about NamRA.
I don't know. I don't know. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your time. Good morning, sir. So I'd like to ask you, what does NamRA stand for? Yes. You don't know what NamRA stands for?
NamRA stands for... Yes, again, no, I think I must start over.
I'm trying to get it. Namibia Revenue Association, I think. Alright. Namibia Revenue Agency? Agency, yes. And what do we do? I perhaps know. I think you have taken over the responsibilities with us or the Ministry of Finance, the Revenues Department, taxes, administration. What does Namibia Revenue Agency do?
It's responsible for tax, and it's responsible for those import things that are coming in. You have to pay value-added tax to NamRA, and again NamRA is responsible also for business people and government workers to pay tax back to NamRA.
Thank you so much, sir. Do you know about NamRA? Not really. What does NamRA stand for?
I think it stands for Namibia Revenue Agency.
What do we do?
Maybe you guys will receive and record all state revenue.
Can Oma find Namibia Revenue Agency? Oma can find Namibia Revenue Agency? Okay, done. Do you know what the Namibia Revenue Agency do?
Yes, that's correct.
What do we do?
You collect taxes on behalf of the country.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much, sir.
NamRA, serving with passion.
Today, we focus on important messages from the NamRA Commissioner addressing stakeholders in Enana. We will also take a look at his address during the staff engagement session after the break.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue. NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
During the stakeholder engagement session at Enana, this is what the Commissioner had to say.
So what we have done, we are strengthening our investigative capacity. Internally, we are strengthening our investigative capacity where we want to recruit people with investigation capabilities. That's why you will see over the past 4 months, more than 4 people were arrested, either stealing from the State Revenue Fund for trying to bribe our officials so that they can tamper with the tax records and so on. So the first measure is to strengthen our investigation capacity. The second measure is to re-engineer our processes so that we should be in a position to detect that through the system. Because in the past, some of this information we only used to get it outside through intelligence. But now our systems must be able to pick this one up. That's why we have also introduced what is called digital transformation, so that you can use systems, things like data analytics or artificial intelligence to be able to detect this. With regard to the issuance of invoices, and I have had also having listened to the governor, I think there is a very serious fundamental challenge with regard to the enforcement of tax law. But now the issue is that 15%, that's a different one. It's not calculated on the one that you get from your income, unless if you have a business. Unless if you have a business and when you buy, if you have a business and you buy and you also get charged VAT, but when you bought this product as well, you also paid VAT, then there is a way for you to be able to claim that so that you are not paying double VAT. But when you are just getting for your income tax and you pay VAT, those are two different taxes. It's not considered as double taxation. But if I buy this computer and I pay VAT, and maybe I do business and I go and buy from another and I get paid VAT, I can claim that. But Master Johnson will come and explain that concept, including the issue of when do you, about the refund and the submission date. I would want you to deal with that. Victoria, why are you not giving us answer on our assignment? What assignment? Or is it a return? It's assessment. Okay. No, what happened is that you're supposed to be getting your response on the assessment. When you are assessed, I think there are two ways, especially if you are on ITAS. When you submit that time, within a very short period of time, you get your result about your assessment, whether you go, Negongi. Shao ecosystem and you know ITAS or Shikunai. That's why that to come back to pull it
NamRA, serving with passion.
And now we bring you Commissioner's address during the staff meeting held on the 11th of October 2022.
Dear colleagues from Namibia Revenue Agency, all the new recruited staff, members of the NamRA family, whether on board or on secondment, we consider you to be part of us. It's just a matter of time. A very good afternoon to all of you. Today, I'm going to unpack for you a concept that is titled NamRA Engaged Workforce, a must. Talking about an engaged workforce. Last year, it was the end of the year, just before we take the break, we said come 2022, we would want an engaged workforce. So that is really the concept that I would want to unpack for you this afternoon. But in unpacking that concept, I would also just pay some gratitude. After paying some gratitude, I would also share with you some of the expectation that we have. Then I would conclude by sharing with you one of my motivational concepts that is called Direction North, N-O-R-T-H. Then I'll conclude within the 25th minute so that we can move with the program. Colleagues, again, Fanny and all the heads of department, I want to thank you. I know though we have not achieved what we set out to achieve to ensure that come end of September, everyone will be on board. But if you hear that 653 colleagues have already been hired, accepted, and ready to serve, and about 400 appointment letters are about to be signed, including, of course, those 60 that are on my table, I think I must give them a round of applause. There have been some commitment. Some colleagues may also see that a number of customs, or colleagues from Customs and Excise Department may not have been up here. It's because the majority of customs officials operate at different borders, but yet they have also been recruited. So, and some of them were saying that, oh, we also want a meet and greet. I think that is something to be prepared, and it will happen. Now, when we promise that we want the NamRA workforce to be the super engaged workforce in Namibia, we mean it. We don't just talk for the sake of talking. I think by now we have been to Katwitwi border post, we have been to Muhembo border post, we have been to Sarasungu border post, we've been to Noldova border post, we've been to Rudrets, we've been to Alliamsfrey, we've been to Valvesby, we've been to Kavango region, we've been to Trans-Kalahari Mamuno border post, we've been to Zambezi, we've been to Ngoma, we've been to Kazungura border post between Botswana and Zambia. And in all those areas that I just spoke about, we have been engaging not only the political leaders, the law enforcement officials, but our staff. So we don't just engage here, but that engagement, it's a commitment. That's like we said as well, my commitment from our office, at least bi-monthly, I must engage. And as I'm saying I must engage, and this is my meeting, there is also an expectation from all heads of department also to individually engage with their department. There is an expectation from all senior manager, all manager to engage their team. We want everyone to be engaged. Yesterday, we finalized the review of our strategic plan, and we also finalized the institutional scorecard that I would have to sign with the chairperson of the board. And we have also committed that within the next 2 weeks, the scorecard between head of department and myself, that is now the commitment, that which is expected from the heads of department, that performance agreement, we need to sign it. And if any scorecard comes to me, and there is no a goal about engagement or meeting with your staff, we will send it back. Dapewa, Fani, Tsakana, if the engagement with the staff is not there, please just make sure that it's added, because I will send it back. It's important for us to keep this team engaged, and I wanted this team to be the most engaged. Maybe not only in Namibia, but also in Africa. So that, because for us to build this world-class revenue agency, world-class institution is not about buildings. That's why we never focused on building. World-class institution is never about building, it's never about computer, it's never about assets, it's about people working and developing policies, developing system, developing procedures, working as in cohesiveness, working as a team, guided by a vision, that vision of a world-class revenue agency serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian. This institution is going to be built by all of us. Council Stephen, his office is very close to my office. And I pass by his office and I see he's sharing his office with some of his colleague. And you feel a bit pity, but you also know that what a good story to tell. That there was a time that when we started working, some of us did not even have offices. Some of us did not even have somewhere to sit, and we have to share these offices. Things are not where they're supposed to be, and it's for us to ensure that those things are where they're supposed to be. We recommend and we make sure that those things are in place. There was a time whereby initially with the conception of NamRA, there was not even a law. The likes of Nadine have to work on ensuring that the law is in place. Give Nadine a round of applause. And also please also thank the task team. There have been people who have been there before us in the task team. But one of the persons who have done a great job also in that task team, when I came on board on the 28th of September, and the person who got an institutional memory and really being on top of the game than nobody else, it was powerful. There is powerful. Give him a round of applause. So we need to appreciate, and of course we also have to thank everyone who have worked in the legacy department. Never forget to thank the former Permanent Secretary of Finance, who made sure that people have been sponsored or funds has been made available, so that now you have more people with more master's degree and more qualification in NamRA than in many institutions. So for that, we are super grateful.
We administer tax and custom laws so efficiently and consistently. We are ethical, effective in changing lives. We are there for you. This is your revenue.
NamRA, serving with passion to positively impact the livelihood of every Namibian.
Meet Serka Masilo, who is serving as a project manager for the Integrated Tax Administration System, ITAS, for 9 years. Her main drive has been striving for efficiency and effectiveness in tax administration. But who is Serka Masilo? Let's take a look.
My name is Serka Nashande Masilo. I was born and raised at Ikokola village in Oshkoto region in the northern part of Namibia. I'm a designated project manager on ITAS, and project management is a critical discipline, strategic discipline. And as a project manager, I have the responsibility to be the link between the strategic and the team. Hence, my main responsibility to ensure that to manage and direct project, and also to manage the team, and to ensure the control of the system changes. I'm very much passionate about project work. Hence, I want to pursue my career in project management professionals.
We are now approaching the end of our show. Here are the trivia of duties.
Did you know? The Southern African Customs Union, SACU, an African regional economic organization, is the world's oldest customs union, founded in 1910. Namibia became a member of SACU in 1990. However, it was involved in the customs union way before that. The shared territories maintained a similar tariff equitable share of duties collected on goods passing through the union to the territories.
NamRA, Serving with Passion.
And now, here's the question for this episode. When is the first phase of the modified tax relief program coming to an end? Kindly email your answer to NamRA Kachenu at namra.org.na. The due date for submission is the 14th of November 2022. The winner will be announced in the next episode.
And that is all that we have for this edition of NamRA Kachenu. We'll be back again in 2 weeks. But until then, goodbye.
Giving fairness and equality to our nation. We appreciate the difference in ethnicity.